Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share yet another update on my experience with the Asus Zephyrus G15 gaming laptop. Now, for those of you unfamiliar, we've got AMD's Ryzen 9 5900HS paired with the NVIDIA RTX 3060, a great screen, solid build quality, and an $1,800 US price point that simply undercuts every other competing machine out there. But what I haven't tested is 4K gaming. Of course, the display on the laptop itself is QHD 1440p, which is a good resolution, perfect for what the 3070 is capable of. But as we all know, the 3080 has been basically dubbed the only mobile GPU in the 30 series that can really drive true 4K. So I wanted to see what we could do here. So the HDMI port that's on here, unfortunately, is not HDMI 2.1, but we do have two Type-C DisplayPort 1.4 rated outputs, and I decided to pick up this Cable Matters adapter. It's like 35 bucks. I'll include a link in the description. Just arrived from Amazon today. And essentially what this is going to permit us to do, and I've now already confirmed it, so you don't have to go through the unboxing and the setup, is hook it up to the display port out, the Type-C port that is right now out of frame. You can't see it. I'm going to do a little pan though, and you can see there is the adapter itself, and I've got a Club 3D HDMI 2.1 cable running to my LG CX48-inch OLED. So, right now we are running at 4K, low settings, and it's 4K 120 hertz. I know you're not looking at the LG, but the frame rates are the frame rates. So we're getting about 40. Now, 40 is 44, 45. This is where things are, outside. If I go inside, still staying somewhat solid at around 45 frames. Obviously, this looks phenomenal on the LG, and I may end up doing a demo of that later because this is also part of my approach to seeing how much of a gap there's going to be between the 3070 we have here and the 3060 inside the Aero 15. I think both of them are capable of 4K performance, but remember, this is low. If I go ahead and go to settings and take this up a notch, if I go to medium, and just for those of you that want to see the evidence, you can see right there full screen and of course 3840 by 2160. You're going to see that the frames drop off. I already tested this, and that's why I wasn't using it. Now we're in the 30s, which is doable but far from ideal. And if I take this up to ultra with no ray tracing, we're going to get high 20s, which isn't even really worth demoing. And yeah, I'm not using a mouse right now, but again, it's pretty impressive that we are getting even in the 30s, and this is 4K 120 hertz. So if anyone was wondering whether or not a 3070 can output 4K at 120 hertz with Cyberpunk, and at least at low settings achieve playable frame rates in the 40s, I've got good news for you. So a $35 adapter, plus you must make sure to get an HDMI 2.1 cable. I recommend the Club 3D since I have it and it's working. You're in business. And actually, this adapter, even though you will lose variable refresh rate, I'm going to disconnect it right now and just show you the adapter itself. You will lose variable refresh rate. You can see we're in turbo. This is the adapter that was just connected. Even though you will lose, the ability to utilize G-Sync, again, 4K 120 hertz coming from a 15-inch gaming laptop. I mean, process that. And again, even though I already DC'd it, I'm going to reconnect it and just show you inside of display properties so that you actually see that we are driving it. Even though you saw the 4K resolution, you didn't see, I don't think it showed refresh. So let's do that right now. You can see everything is microscopic. Set up multiple displays. Hopefully, you are able to see, I'm going to bring this up as close as possible, that we've got the LG television right there is what's recognized. Now, let's go to resolution, and there you have it. You can see we're running at 3840 by 2160 and 120 hertz. Of course, you could drop down to 100. I don't know why you would do that. So, it is possible, folks. This is pretty amazing. I'm going to do more testing. I want to see what the performance gap between this machine and the Aero 15 is, because that's going to ultimately tell us, you know, is the 3060 a better bang for the buck? I think many people think it is. But in this build, I mean, the 3070 is practically, I'm not going to say being given away, but it kind of is when you take into account pricing. So again, this little cable matters. It absolutely matters. And if you, like me, wanted to be able to drive a 4K 120 hertz signal, just like a desktop, I mean, I can't believe I'm doing this with a laptop, you can do it. Is it ideal? No. Would it be better with a 3080? Sure. But the fact of the matter is, we're going to do better in other titles, and I'm going to test it in other titles. You know, Cyberpunk is very demanding. I have a feeling that in older titles, we're going to be able to play a lot of different games at 4K 120 hertz with 60 frames per second without dropping it down to low. But those are the tests that'll follow. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button. And as usual, please feel free to subscribe, and please stay safe. Later.